Good morning, everyone. My name is Bill Zeltman. This is Step Ahead Bootcamp, and today we are doing digital mastery. And we're going to come with a question today that I get all the time. People have a hard time understanding why I say this. And so I'm going to give you an explanation. And then we're going to go into actually talking about YouTube and Facebook and getting you links and things like that in your Google business account. So let's start with the first subject, which the question that came up was, should I send my clients, and this isn't even a question people ask, they just do it, but it's a question you should ask. Should I send my clients listings from the mobile listing service? And the answer to that is absolutely, positively not. Now, depending on where you live, I just renewed my New Jersey real estate license and MLS. My MLS is $125 or $150 for the year, so it's not that big a deal. Here in Florida, especially the Tampa Bay area, these boards keep getting bigger and they just keep jacking their expenses up. It's absolutely absurd for all my agents to be paying $550 or whatever it is a year for multiple listing service access. But I think times are coming where we'll see what's going to happen there. But I'm digressing. I paid $550 to join the multiple listing service. Why shouldn't I use every tool that's in there? Here's why. They sell your information. And you know who they sell it to? Your competitors in a lot of cases. More importantly, though, the specific question is, should I send listings through the MLS? You can go into your MLS. You can put your client's name and email in. You can put their criteria in. You send them everything that's in the MLS that's listed right now, right? And then what? It sends them updates. So tomorrow, new listing comes on the market, it sends it to them. But here is the problem with that. Whatever you send them, it is what I'm going to call a dead email. And what do I mean that it's a dead email? Let's just say, for example, tomorrow there were 10 new listings. That's not happening these days, but let's just say there were. I would send my client 10 new listings. So let me just go with the specific. My client said they wanted a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house in Tarpon Springs, and they wanted to be somewhere between $550,000 and $600,000. So I put that criteria in. And tomorrow, they're going to get 10 new listings. Now, most of the time, they're going to get 1, 2, 3. But we're just going to say this is a bigger number. Doesn't matter, but you're just making my point more dramatic. So now your client looks through those 10 houses. You know what? There's not really anything there that I like. Yeah, these aren't going to do it for me. You know what, though? I could probably go from 600 to 625. Or, I didn't tell my agent, I would also maybe think about Trinity or maybe like Safety Harbor or Palm Harbor. They can't change the criteria in what you sent them, and they can't add to it. So what do? They do one of a few things. In your best case scenario, they call you. Hey, by the way, can you go up to 625? Can you add Trinity? Can you add Safety Harbor? Oh, and you're okay. And when you get a chance, you go in, you update it, and they start getting the updates. Hopefully you do that right away. Most people aren't going to do that. What are they going to do? They're going to go straight to Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, one of these commercial websites, which are full of bad information, by the way. You should make your clients never get on Zillow. I spent a half hour on the phone just this morning with one of our agents, helping her debunk the nonsense that her client read on Zillow from their Zestimate. Yeah, okay. If anybody follows me on social media, you saw my April Fool's joke this year. April Fool's Year's estimates correct? Yeah, they're not. So now this client goes to Zillow. Let's use them as an example. They seem to be the one taking all the beatings from realtors these days. And what do they do on Zillow? They put in their criteria. And what do they find? They find the house they want, but it's in Tarpon, or it's not in Tarpon, it's in Safety Harbor, Palm Harbor, wherever. In your best case scenario, what do? They call you, say, hey, I found a house on Zillow. Can we go see it this afternoon? What happens if they call you and you're somewhere else? You're with another client. You're just unable to pick up your phone. What do? They don't want to lose that house. So they go down on Zillow. Call agent 1, agent 2, and agent 3, the featured agents that are paying for that to be on that listing. So now they call that listing. Oh, but wait, I have a broker buyer's agreement. Yeah, good luck getting that to stick. It won't. They call that other agent. I can get you in there in an hour. Okay. You lose a client. Happens all the time. In my 12 years of coaching realtors, I have seen this happen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And the thing that frustrates me the most is somebody that sat in my class repeatedly hearing me say, don't put your listings or don't send your clients listings from the MLS, and they do it anyway. Why would you do this? You have your own website and your own CRM that'll actually do this. By the way, if you send it from your Moxie website, they can go and change the search criteria themselves. They can search any of it right there. Guess what? You're the only realtor on that page. It's completely branded just for you. And for anybody that's, you guys that are watching online, depending on your brokerage, unless you're with one of those flim-flam discount brokerages, most good brokerages have it so you can send stuff straight from your website through your client relationship management tool. In addition, ours actually works on algorithms. It'll tell you it has a predictive model that'll tell you who you need to call. So you have somebody that maybe, you haven't talked to in a bit, and all of a sudden they're looking around at houses. You wouldn't know that because they haven't called you. Your CRM will tell you. You can also go in and see, maybe they didn't call you and tell you that they consider Trinity. Well, now you're looking at their list and you're saying, wait a minute, they're not only looking in Tarpon, they're looking in Safety Harbor, Palm Harbor, and Trinity. And you can see what they're looking at. You can see which properties they favored. So don't ever, ever, ever send a client a listing from the mobile listing service when you can send it from your CRM/website. Now, understand, there may be some unique circumstances that you want that you do send them something through the MLS, but they should be one-offs and so rare that it's almost that you never do it. So if anybody has any questions on that, feel free. You can put them in the chat. I'd be happy to talk with anybody about that. But please don't, whatever you do, don't send out stuff through the mobile listing service. It is a recipe to lose clients. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about. Well, you had a question about what, YouTube and Facebook and.
Oh, I just wanted to check my links.
Check your links. Okay, so we could do that. Yeah. So just a reminder, everybody, I say this a lot because it's so important. Make sure that all of your @s, the little @ sign, are the same. So that if I go on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, X, Pinterest, et cetera, that if I know that my teaching one for you guys is @America's Gurus, you can pick up any of those platforms, put in @America's Gurus, and you're going to find me. I'm not this thing on Instagram and that thing on TikTok and this thing on Facebook and that thing on X or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever else. Actually, LinkedIn, I have a personal one, but any of the
Can you go in and change those?
If they're available.
Edit them?
If they're available, you can. And that's why I always tell people, if you have not picked yours yet, this is why I always tell new agents, if a new agent starting tomorrow, I always tell new agents, wait for me before you start making Facebook pages and groups and branding materials and whatever else. We'll talk about that part of it in a second. But if you go into, if you go in, one of the things, just so you guys know, one of my @, and it's just for the town I live in, it was NPR Guru. And I went through every social to check. The last one I checked was X, and guess what? Somebody had it. So what do I have to do? I had to rethink, and I did NPR Gurus with an S. So before you assign anything or create any pages, you should set them all up at once in one day. I open tabs all the way across, and I check available, 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 available. And before I accept it, I make sure that all the way across the board, they're all available, and then you hit it. The beauty of this is when I market, so I always call this my Wawa test. For those of you that don't know what Wawa is, Circle K, 7-Eleven, convenience store. If I'm walking into a Wawa to get my favorite Wawa iced tea, and I see someone, hey, aren't you that realtor? Yeah. Hey, how can I get in touch with you? And of course, I'm going to give them a business card and introduce myself and stop and talk to them. But let's just say it was a hurried situation. They said, hey, I hear you got a really active social media page. I have many. Yeah. How do I find it? For you guys, @America's Gurus. That's my teaching one. I have another one, @Gulf Palm Homes, which is my real estate team, but @America's Gurus. Well, wait a minute, which platform? All of them. If you look at the magnets I have in my car, if you look at my business card, it just says @. It has the socials all lined up and it just says @. It's there one time. Can you imagine? I'm standing outside of a Wawa. I'm walking out. She's walking in. Yeah, if you want to follow me on Facebook, go to @America's Gurus. If you want to follow me on Instagram, go to Guru Americas. If you want to follow me on TikTok, can you imagine? And what are they going to remember? Nothing. So find something that is easy to remember and also easy to spell. So I'm going to be mean to some of you out there. Where are my Debbies? My Brians? I'll use an example of somebody that's actually on my team that we'll talk about in just a second. Why do I say Debbie and Brian? Anybody have an idea why I would bring those two names up? BRY, BRA, Debbie IE, Debbie with a Y. Right. We have a girl on my team, Jennifer Galoo. It's JENNI, JENNI. Yeah, it's IE. It's FIER at the end. FIER. So there's an extra I in there. That's why I was getting confused. I knew I had to get the other I in. She should never use her name, and does not use her name, as a social media piece. Easy, simple, no hyphens, no weird things, not easy. If you look at the best branded companies out there, and a lot of big name companies did not hire experts because there were no experts. Back, I remember when I got my MBA in digital mastery, we were in the beginning of this, and we were just putting all the pieces together for this. But when it came to branding and things like that, you'll even see big companies that have some mistakes in their branding. You guys don't have to, because you have this knowledge now, and it's very, very simple. Find something that's easy to spell and easy to remember and comes right off the tongue and gets in somebody's head. We have any Seinfeld fans out there? Remember George Costanza kept saying, if you see me 3 times, you'll go Costanza. Well, that's what you want. Something that's going to ring in somebody's head over and over and over. that you can easily share, put on a business card, put on a magnet on your car, or wherever else you're going to go. So, any questions on that? And we can look at yours. If you've already created them, don't panic. I hope you didn't pay money and put them on all kinds of marketing materials, but don't panic. We can go in, open them all up across your screen, and check them. Pick the one you like best and check them. And if it doesn't work, go to the one you like second best, check them. And until we get a clear book across, however many socials you have, 8 or 9, I don't remember exactly how many. I have 8 or 9 of them that they all check off. Then you hit save across the board, and then you've got your app. All right. Any questions on that? Any thoughts on that? All right. The next thing I wanted to talk about is Google Business Manager. Do you guys have a Google business page?
I do, but I haven't marked on it.
But you have one set up. Okay. So what I would suggest is that you go in, get it set up, and get it verified. Now, for realtors, this is a little tricky because they're going to send you in the mail a verification that you have to pop in here. And the way you have to do this is get in touch with whoever your admin is in your office, or whatever, say, look, it's going to look like a little flyer, piece of trash, postcard, whatever. It's not. If you see something that has my name on it, please make sure I get it so you can verify your business. Even being a broker manager, I have had issues I'm having issues with my Gulf Palm Home Team account right now. And I'm trying to get past Google. Google is not easy to deal with. Their customer service is terrible. For the last 7 or 8 months, I have had calls around the clock on my cell phone from a bar in St. Petersburg, Florida. My number was listed in their Google number. I tried to call, but there's no other way to get in touch with this place. It would just ring my number. I wrote Google. Nothing. People called me. I said, I beg of you, if you go there, please tell them they have my phone number. It wasn't until yesterday. This started back last maybe November, and it's now July 8th. It was yesterday I finally got a message from them because they didn't. I gave them a 1-star review on Google, and they gave me some lip about it. And I'm like, oh, we did everything we could. No, you didn't do everything you could. You could have called me because you certainly have my number and said we're working on this. They never did. So anyway, not to digress, but my point is that Google was of no help. And they'll allow you to appeal something once, and if they don't agree with it, even though they're not going to read what you write, or you don't do it right, or whatever else, they'll just basically say you're off of Google. So be very careful with Google, but get those set up. Also, set up a page on Bing. Everybody, it's funny. For those of you there used to be a TV show, Men of a Certain Age. I guess I've just now become that age. These were all guys turning 50. Some of us remember back to the days of AOL search, right? How many of you had AOL? Some of us, after AOL kind of went, where did we all go? Yahoo. And then in 1998, this new search engine came out called Google. Well, Google has become the tissue, right? Or the Kleenex of tissue is what I meant to say. When people say Google it, or do you need a Kleenex? Does it mean you need either of those brands? No. You can use a Google. You can use any other search engine, but instead of saying search engine, people say Google. Instead of saying tissue, they say Kleenex. Google has been very fortunate to brand themselves that way. There are other brands out there. There are other search engines out there that millions of people use. DuckDuckGo. Bing, Yahoo. What I want you to do is go into all of those and create profiles. Another place I really want you to create a profile, it's not really social media, but is Yelp. You should have a Yelp business account going. Another one I use is Foursquare, and they have an app called Swarm. So when I go out, everywhere I go, I check in where I am in Swarm. And the reason I do that is because there's a lot of people that use it. And every time they see it, what do they see? Me, Gulf Palm Homes. It's free advertising. So if anybody has questions on how to set any of these up, they're very, very user-friendly. Set them up as your business name. However you do that, whether you use a team name or whatever, you can put your first name, last name, Realtor, however you brand yourself. And when they have the option for a username, again, use the same username as you'd use for everything else. Any questions on that? So again, Yelp, Foursquare, get the Swarm app, Google Business, Bing. I don't know what Yahoo and DuckDuckGo are doing, but you can certainly look into those and get your business out there, get your website out there. Bonus, if you have a website, URL that you own, a website that you own, try to get the website that you own to be about the same or exactly the same if possible as your app, as where you're sending people. So if you go to gulfpalmhomes.com right now, you're going to see my website. If you go to facebook.com/gulfpalmhomes, guess what you're going to see? My Facebook page and Instagram and YouTube and Twitter or X and all of them, TikTok, all of them. Make it simple, stupid for your clients. It's when I was 24. I was actually 22 when I started my first business, but I was 24. I bought a health club. And I was in an island, beautiful Ocean City, New Jersey, for anybody that knows it, in an island. On that island, there were 3 health clubs. Mine had started in 1984. So at that point, when I opened it, it was there for 12 years. Or when I bought it, it was there for 12 years. I bought it in 1996. And I had people coming in 1998, 99, 2000, over and over and over. Wow, I never knew I've been coming to this island for 30 years. I never knew there was a gym in town. It's a 5-6 mile island is all the island is. There's 3, at the time, there were 3 health clubs, including a community center that was owned by the city where they had stuff everywhere about it. But people walk around like this, guys. They walk around with tunnel vision and they don't look and they don't pay attention. You'd be shocked. They're very intelligent people walk around with tunnel vision like that. So when you're dealing with the public, the thing I learned very quickly is you had to spoon feed them. I had to advertise in that local newspaper because that's where they look for things that were going on for the week. I had to be in the little welcome things when you went to the welcome center where you could pull a flyer out of things to do, because people weren't going to go and search even the phone book. In the phone book, I had the biggest ad in my county for any of the health clubs. So you went to health club, mine was the biggest, most prominent one on the top page. People don't do it. They just kind of wander through life. So make it easy for them. All right. Other questions or anything else you want to go over today? If not, I'm going to end the live stream for you guys. I'm going to work here in the group. Of course, anybody's out there, if you're local to the Tampa Bay area, we are in Oldsmar. You are welcome to come join us. Doesn't matter what brokerage you're from. We're happy to have you here. Usually after this training, Usually I do some stuff that's hands-on that we really can't do online. And then we have a video class here. So for anybody that wants to create a video business card, any type of video that's going to promote their business and get them that content on all their social media, including YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, that's what we work on. So again, Bill Zeltman, follow me at America's Gurus, and we will see you Thursday at 11 o'clock here live for the morning grind.